Americans visited ski resorts over 60 million times during the 23-24 winter season. This means that skiing is an industry that generates billions of dollars in revenue each year, and Vail Resorts is the biggest player in this industry. In addition to being the market leader, the company has also completely transformed skiing, from how people access the mountains to how resorts make money. But while the transformation has led to record profits for Vail Resorts, it has also led to skyrocketing prices and overcrowded slopes. In this video, we will take a look at the business of ski resorts. Specifically, we will dive into Vail Resorts to understand its economics, how the business has evolved, and some challenges that it's facing. Vail Resorts generates almost $3 billion in annual revenue, but when looking at the revenue breakdown, it is clear that Vail Resorts is more than just a mountain company. According to its financials, the company has three major revenue streams: real estate, lodging, and mountain. Real estate revenue refers to revenue generated from real estate transactions, for example, selling or leasing a piece of land or a building. This is the company's smallest revenue segment, and in fiscal year 2024, it brought in just under $5 million, representing less than 1% of its total revenue. Lodging revenue refers to the income generated from accommodations and related hospitality services across their resort locations. In many of its mountains, Vail Resorts owns and operates hotels and restaurants, and the revenue they generate is counted as lodging revenue. This segment brought in approximately $336 million in fiscal 2024, representing around 11.5% of the company's total revenue. But Vail Resorts' biggest revenue segment is called mountain revenue. As you might have imagined, this represents revenue generated from skiing. Lift tickets, gear rentals, gear sales, and other skiing activities are recorded here. This segment generated $2.5 billion in revenue in 2024, representing 88% of the total revenue. And growing sales has also brought in record levels of profits. In 2024, the company reported a net profit of $230 million, which represents a net profit margin of 8%. In fact, over the past 10 years, Vail Resorts has maintained quite a healthy average net profit margin of 10%. Barring some revenue and profit fluctuations here and there, the business, at least the financial side, of Vail Resorts has been quite stable over the years. But this has not always been the case when it comes to ski resorts. Looking back over the years, skiing in America has never been a stable business. This is because these resorts relied heavily on day ticket sales as their primary revenue source. The problem? The success of a ski resort was highly dependent on snowfall. If the snow fell plentifully, resorts saw a lot of visitors and sold a lot of day tickets. If not, they struggled. This made revenue very volatile because of unpredictable snowfall. And revenue volatility is a problem for a business that has to incur a fixed set of costs. Ski resorts have to pay for employees, maintain ski lifts, operate snowmaking machines, and cover property expenses, regardless of how many skiers show up. These costs do not fluctuate much with visitor numbers, meaning that in years with low snowfall, many resorts found themselves in financial trouble, struggling to cover expenses. And this instability made ski resorts a bad investment opportunity, which explains why back in the days, most mountains were prestige assets owned by the rich families that could handle the revenue fluctuations. And Vail Resorts was not immune to this problem. The 01-02 winter season marked one of the driest winters in history for Colorado. Vail Resorts, who at the time owned only 4 resorts, all in Colorado, saw its number of skier visits drop by 1 million visits from the previous year. The 06-07 season was another notably low snow year for the region, which translated to a drop in the number of skier visits for Vail. By contrast, in high snowfall seasons, the resort has thrived. For example, the 05-06 season, which featured excellent snow in Colorado, drove a 5.9% surge in skier visits across Vail's resorts, with Vail Mountain up 6.9% and Breckenridge up 10%. The industry needed something new to deal with this volatility, and it came with the introduction of the Epic Pass. The Epic Pass was introduced back in 2008 by Vail Resorts primarily as a solution to mitigate revenue volatility due to unpredictable snowfall. For a fixed amount of money, skiers got unlimited access to Vail's network of mountains, which at the time was made up of 5 resorts. The idea was that the Epic Pass gave Vail Resorts access to a large amount of cash before the season even started. Instead of relying on unpredictable day ticket sales that fluctuated with snowfall, Vail Resorts now had a predictable stream of revenue locked in months in advance. With more financial stability, Vail could plan long-term investments in infrastructure like expanding its resort portfolio. Expansion made the pass more valuable, attracting more pass holders. More pass holders meant increased visitations, which justified further growth, creating a self-reinforcing cycle that fueled Vail's growth. And this is exactly what has happened. As I mentioned previously, the company owned 5 resorts in 2008 when it first introduced the Epic Pass. Now, it owns 42. At the same time, the number of Epic Pass members surged from 60,000 in 2008 to 2.4 million in 2023, accompanied by an increase in Vail's US market share from 11 to 30%. But while the Epic Pass has definitely stabilized and fueled Vail Resorts' growth, many opponents claim that it has brought in a flurry of problems that have declined the ski experience for guests. In operational strategy, there is a theory called pooling. Pooling refers to the practice of pooling resources to deliver a better and more efficient service to customers. This strategy is often used to balance demand across resources. In theory, pooling increases efficiency by sharing capacity among multiple resources, thereby reducing the risk of bottlenecks. The introduction of the Epic Pass was intended to promote pooling by granting skiers access to a wide network of resorts, thereby spreading demand across multiple locations. However, in certain contexts, pooling can break down under specific conditions, leading to unintended consequences and customer dissatisfaction. And it seems like this is what has happened with the Epic Pass. The popularity of the Epic Pass has increased the number of visitors, particularly on weekends and holidays. Additionally, season pass holders tend to go to whichever ski area has the best snow in a given weekend. All of this crowding has overwhelmed the resort's infrastructure, which is resulting in long lift queues. In fact, Vail's so-called lift line apocalypse became notorious, with viral images showing massive waiting crowds, turning what should have been a day of leisure into an exercise in frustration. But long queues are not the only problem. Epic Passes account for approximately 73% of the company's overall lift ticket revenue, proving that they have become the company's primary money maker. Naturally, getting as many people as possible to buy an Epic Pass is Vail Resorts' main objective, and one way to push more purchases is by strategically adjusting the entire pricing model. Vail Resorts offers several types of lift tickets. Window lift tickets, which are traditional single-day tickets purchased at the resort, Epic Day Passes, which are similar to the Epic Pass but with a set number of skiing days, and the Epic Pass, which is the full season pass offering unlimited skiing. Window lift tickets are the most expensive option, often exceeding $300 per day at Vail's top resorts. Meanwhile, Epic Day Passes provide a more budget-friendly alternative, allowing skiers to pre-purchase skiing days in advance. These passes range from single-day options to 7-day packages, with the per-day cost decreasing as you add more days, ranging from $118 to $100 per day depending on the number of days selected. However, there's a catch. First, you must purchase them early. Epic Day Passes are only available until mid-December. If you don't buy them by then, you're out of luck. Second, you can't add more days later. If you buy a 4-day pass in December, you cannot purchase another one in February. You're locked into your initial purchase. And third, there are blackout dates. Some of the busiest ski days, like winter holidays, are restricted on the multi-day passes, forcing skiers to avoid peak times or opt for the full Epic Pass. By making single-day tickets very expensive and restricting when and how multi-day passes can be used, Vail Resorts steers skiers toward the full Epic Pass. Think about it. For the 24-25 season, the Epic Pass cost $182, and at $300 per single day lift ticket, you would break even in just 3 days, making it an easy decision for anyone planning multiple ski trips. This explains why single-day ticket prices have skyrocketed over the years. In 2000, a single-day ticket at Vail was $65, or $115 adjusted for inflation. In 2024, that price has ballooned to over $300, far exceeding inflation. While this strategy maximizes revenue and encourages season-long commitment, it also makes single-day skiing incredibly expensive, pricing out casual skiers who just want to hit the slopes for a day. Vail Resorts has absolutely transformed the skiing industry in the United States. While the Epic Pass strategy has worked so far, the company's future is not very clear. The company is facing an ongoing battle with its workers' union, which has shown that it can destabilize its operations. During the Christmas holiday of the 24-25 season, nearly 200 ski patrollers and mountain safety personnel launched a strike at Park City Mountain in Utah to protest alleged unfair labor practices. This led to massive disruptions in the operations of the resort, which led to even longer lift queues. This, plus the fact that skiers are growing more resentful toward the company, might mean that Vail Resorts will face tough battles in the years to come.